Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning into today's webinar on the all-new user interface of ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. My name is Nikhil. I'm from the product support team, and I'm going to be the presenter for today's session. With that, I'm going to introduce you to the new ServiceDesk Plus. So the all-new ServiceDesk Plus has more than 100 micro enhancements across various modules available in the application. It does definitely have a very pleasing interface visually, and it has an unparalleled, or it gives you an unparalleled user experience. So here are the list of some major enhancements which we have brought in as a part of the new user interface. So there is a layout which can be customizable, and there is a global theme setting which is now available as a part of the new user interface. We now have full-sized dashboards. The request views are split into three. You have a list view, a template view, and a Kanban view. Notifications, approvals, and recent items are now module segregated and time segregated. You also have a unified search bar for a unified search experience. And using the search bar, you could search about any data which is available in any module in the application. You also have smart view enabled dashboards, and you have a very interesting row color feature which is now available as a part of the new UI. And the table row colors for your requests can now be categorized or colored based on priority, status, and category. And the most requested feature is now available, which is the requester portal customization. So on the end user's perspective, many users were asking, can the data be changed, for requesting a service, or for raising an incident? This can now be made customizable. So let's quickly get into the product so that I could give you a heads up on what has been changed in the new user interface. I'm also going to parallelly switch to the old UI as well, so that you could get a better understanding or a better comparison view of what is made new and what is now available as a part of the new user interface. So this is the all new Service Desk Plus. So you now have a top bar which can be customizable. And the very first option which I wanted to show you was setup. So setup has now moved to the top right corner of the application screen, which was initially a part of the module list which is available in the top bar. You have the personalization option, which is now available under profile. So you have a profile icon, and when you click on the profile icon, you have a couple of options here. So the navigation background can be changed from charcoal black to polar white. So this is the navigation background which is available. And you have a layout personalization option. So initially in the old user interface, there was just a top bar which was not customizable. Right now, in the new user interface, the navigation menu has been made customizable for end users. So you can either have it as a top bar, you could have it as a sidebar, or you could have a sidebar light. So the sidebar displays the names of the modules which are available based on your subscription, and the sidebar light gives you the icons which would be displayed on the left of your application window. You also have one other option of viewing your current plan details from your profile section as well. So you need not navigate to the manage subscription icon anymore and view your plan details. This has now been made easily available under the profile section. So that's about the personalization, the profile icon, and the one other option which I wanted to show you regarding the layout personalization option is that you now have a theme setting which is available under general settings. So as an admin, if you want to restrict this theme change for your other technicians or your users, you can either allow by enabling or disabling this particular option, and you could choose what navigation menu should be visible to them. Is it a top bar, is it a sidebar, or a sidebar light? So depending on this global setting, all the other technicians would or would not be able to change the settings by clicking on the profile icon. And you also have your choice of colors. So this is your font colors. So as and when, so you do see that the theme settings, for example, has a different color now as and when I navigate. So this color customization is also available right here. This can be made a global as a global setting as well. And you also have a font option, which can now be chosen either individually based on the user's preference or as a global setting. So this is about the personalization front in the new user interface of ServiceDesk Plus. Coming to branding, in the old user interface, you would have your instance type or your instance name being visible right here. And the other instances which are a part of your organization would be visible under your profile section, right? So this has now been changed. So as and when you click on the 9 dot option on the top left corner of your screen, you'd be able to view all the different instances you have along with their logos. And you also have the ESM portal and the ESM directory option, which comes within this section. So initially, the ESM portal and the ESM directory would fall under this section. So when you click on the ESM directory, you would navigate to this page where you could customize your organization's name, your company logo, etc. And you have your service desk instances where you could go ahead and edit your instance and make a change to your logo as such. So this is now moved. So your organization logo, which usually appears on the top left corner in the old user interface, is no longer available there. So you would notice your instance logo and your instance name being visible on the top left corner. And as and when you click on the 9 dots, which is the instances option, you would view your organization or your company's logo right here. And your ESN directory is visible here as well. So that's about the branding part, which we have in the new user interface. So coming to dashboards. So in the home tab, you have dashboards. And when you navigate to the old user interface, you will notice that the dashboard, scheduler, and the other options were available as a sidebar in the old user interface again. And in the new UI, this has been moved to the top. So you can either have your layout customization as a top bar or sidebar, but all these options which are available within every module have now been standardized as a top bar or a top section. So your dashboard, scheduler, tech availability, and your task section would be available in this panel. And you now have dashboards which can be projected individually in different monitors as a full screen option. So by making use of enter full screen option, you could project this particular dashboard view depending on your choice of dashboard which you've created. So you could create your own customizable dashboard as well. And if you want to choose to project this or display this in a separate monitor in your organization, that can now be made easily available by making use of the full screen option which is available. And talking about widgets which are available within a specific dashboard, you can now make changes to the type of graphs which are being displayed. So should I have a bar chart or a pie chart or a funnel or even a pyramid type of a chart is completely up to the end user. So depending on the user's preference or the user's liking, they can go ahead and make any change to the type of charts which are now available. So these are powered by Zoho charts, and these are, and each and every single chart has their own style of customization, and the customization options are now available as a part of the new user interface. And when you click on any option or any data within a chart, that would take you to the list view of the request, for example. So this used to be the initial behavior in the old user interface as well. But right now we have a smart view which can be enabled for the dashboards. So under the dashboard feature, you could come here to your filter option and you could enable smart view. So by doing this, the request would no longer take you, or the results would no longer take you to the list view, but you would have a smart view in which you could directly view the details of the request without having to click on a request from the list view and take a look at it. So this is one option which is available for all the charts. So as in, this is a global setting which can be enabled, and as in when you click on any data in any chart, it would directly take you or open the smart view which is now made available. So let's close this. Let's exit the full screen. And talking about list view, when you navigate to requests, let's see what are the changes which are done in the request module, and a couple of changes in the other modules as well. So in the list view, for example, if we navigate to requests, initially you would have a filter on the right corner which says filter by incidents or filter by service requests. So this filter option is now made available within the view filter. So when you click here, you have the list of your favorite views which you've created, your groups, and your predefined views as well. And you have the request type which is now made available. So you can choose between incidents, service requests, or both, right? So this filter option has now moved within the view option. You had the settings in the old user interface, which was available on the top right corner of your table. So the setting has now, or the search, I'm sorry, so the search has now moved to the top left corner, and you have a column chooser, which is now available on the top left corner of your table. You also have the table setting, which was available initially on the right corner as well, as usual. So from here, you could choose if you want a compact display density or a comfort display density. And as usual, you could make changes to your records per page as well. So should you have just 10 records or 100 records or any other value, depends on the end user. And the most interesting feature and the most asked feature was table row color settings. So table row color settings is now made available. So you could click on this particular option. You could enable your row color settings right here. And when you edit row color settings, you would now have an option to choose your row colors based on your status, priority, or your category. For example, if you want to choose a specific color for a high priority, and if you want to categorize your low priority in different colors, you could do that as well. So by default, it's null, so you wouldn't have any color. You get to choose the list of priority or status or category, whichever option you choose. The corresponding data or the corresponding options would be visible right here. So let's say, for example, let's choose high and let's choose a color. So you now get to choose the colors for a specific value, and you can make use of either these standard colors which are available, or you could make use of the color palette. So if you want to choose your own color, that can also be made available right now. So once you select this, that becomes my preferred choice of color. And let's choose a couple of other options just to show you how it looks like. Let's choose normal right here or medium. And let's choose a couple of other colors. So for green, let's go with low. And let's choose medium as, let's say, blue, right? And you have an opacity option as well. So that depends on your liking. And there is also one other option. So you have an applies to or a filter criteria right here. So it's not really necessary that end users would want their entire row to be highlighted in a specific color, right? So for instance, if you just want to highlight the priority column alone, you could do that. So depending on the list of uh, columns you have in the request module, you can now choose or search for a specific field or a column name, and that can be chosen as your preferred choice as well. So you can also cancel this to uh, enable this for all your requests in the list view. So this gives you an insight on how many high priority requests are there versus how many low priority requests are there. So that's about the row color feature. And the row color feature is available as a part of the list view, which we are currently in, and as a part of the template view. So we now have three different views. So you have a list view, which I just showed you. The template view would still have the colors, but the entire row would not be populated based on the color. It's just the checkbox which would be highlighted depending on the row color which you've chosen. So that's about your row color setting. You can choose to enable or disable this for your template view alone, or for or as a global setting as well. So you now have this flexibility as well as a part of your row color setting. And the other view which I was talking about is the Kanban view. So you have three views now: the list view, the template view, and the Kanban view. So the Kanban view now allows you to group by status, priority, or technician. So right now, the Kanban view is available only for the request module. And you can now group by using status, priority, or technician assignments. You have a display density. You can either mark it as a compact display density or a comfort display density, depending on your choice. And at any point of time, if you want to work on a specific request, or if you want to change the status, you could directly change or drag and drop the request to the necessary filter, and that's going to mark this the status as from analysis or in progress to open, depending on your choice. So this can also be made for your priority and your technician assignments. So you have uh, a manage priority option or a customization option which is available. So with this, you would be able to pin cards to the left. So if you want to navigate to the right to identify what are the other types of priority or technicians or statuses which are available, and if you want to still pin a few cards to the left so that it'll be easy for you to quickly navigate and make your assignments, uh, yeah, so you can do that now by making use of this pin feature. You also have this pin feature, which can be triggered by dragging and dropping a value within the pinned priority section. You can choose to unpin it from this section as well. You can also reorganize. So for instance, if you want to view your critical incidents first or your medium incidents first, that can also be made available, or it can be customized. So you can basically uh, prioritize your order of your priority status or your technician assignments by making use of this manage priority section. So this is about the Kanban view, which is now available as a part of the new user interface. So let's navigate to a couple of other modules to highlight the other options or enhancements which were made to them. So you would notice that the search and the column chooser is more of a global setting now. It has been moved to the left, and the table setting remains on the right side. So this is pretty much across all the modules. And we have the list view and the template view, which is made as a standard choice of option for all the modules, so that end users can make use of their own choice and navigate. So we are in the change module at the very moment, and we are in the list view. So you also have a template view, which gives you an insight on the task and the workflow and a few other details of the change request which you're working on. And you also have a calendar view as a part of your changes. So for instance, if you want to choose a specific month, and if you want to know what or on what dates a specific release or a change is being triggered, you can now make use of the calendar option or the calendar view to make use of your assignments or your uh, change and release assignments and downtimes. So you have a filter option which showcases just the changes or the changes and releases as well, right? So that's about the change management module. The next module is projects. So when you navigate to projects, you would once again have the list view and the template view right here. And apart from this, you have a Gantt view right here. So the template view gives you an insight on uh, the milestones which you have, the percentage of milestones which are completed, and the task information along with the schedule options. Of course, you could choose what columns you would like to view from this section. When you click on the Gantt view, that would take you to your project Gantt chart, where you get to view all the details of your projects which are available in a calendar view. And when you click on any specific project, for example, you get to view what is, or what are the different milestones which are associated within them, and what are the interrelated tasks as well. So you get an overview on the whole project and all the projects which you are working on in your organization. So you also have a tables or a time setting which can be customized. So you could show the actual time, the schedule time, both, and you have a zooming option. Should it be on a weekly basis or a daily basis or an hourly basis? Of course, you have the years and months as well. So this is about the project Gantt chart, which you have as a part of the new user interface. You also have a resource management section. So from here, this is once again a time or a view in which you could make use of your loads, right? So depending on your assignments or your load assignments, you could ensure that your projects and your tasks are being assigned to the right technicians, and that the time and the load are being managed. So this gives you an overview on when a specific task is about to start, and who is working on a task and at what point of time, right? So that's about the resource management section which you have. And let's navigate to the top sections which we haven't covered yet. So you have notifications which are now time segregated. So when you navigate to your home screen, or let me take another tab. So when you click on notifications, you would notice that you have notifications which are now searchable. So you could search for any notification as such. And you also have an option to view when the notification came in. So the notifications are now time segregated. So you would find older requests or older notifications as well, and you could directly click right here, or even delete the notification which you received. So that's about the notification. In the old user interface, the notification was available right here. So you had a small box in which you could view the notifications, but right now you have a much wider view for the notifications. You can now search for them as well. uh, Navigating to approvals, all your pending approvals from various modules, be it requests, be it changes, or any other module, would be module segregated, and you could take actions from right here. So you could say uh, approved right here, and then you could go ahead and click on approve, and that's going to mark your request as the status of the approval as approved. So this is also time segregated. So as and when your requests come in, you could take a quick action on your approvals part. You have recent items. So all your recent visits in your application can now be tracked by making use of the recent item section. So this recent item section is also time segregated. So you have a today filter, which displays all the items which we visited today. And we do have other dates and other items, or other modules data as well. So you could directly navigate to any module or any asset which you have been recently working on without having to navigate to the respective module. So these are the options which are now available as a part of the new UI, which are searchable and which are time segregated. So under quick actions, you can now make use of keyboard shortcuts to raise a new announcement, to raise a new, to create a new requester, to raise a new request, to raise a new change, etc., etc. So you now have the quick action which is made available for all users. You can make use of this and take quick actions in the application. So you also have a unified search bar. So as a part of all these options, you have the unified search bar. So for example, if I want to take a look at any asset, right, I could search for the module which I'm looking for. And right here, I could type in the name of my asset and directly navigate to my asset in the asset module. So whatever we type, the corresponding results would be visible, and I can navigate within the asset section to view the details of the asset. So talking about assets, you have a refreshed relationship view as well. So that you can get to view your associated assets, your connected versus your attached assets, and you have your associations which are available right here as well. What if an asset is critical, and if you want to quickly identify, what are the possible impact which could cause if this particular machine goes down, right? So you could navigate to the CMDB module or search for this particular CI in the CMDB module. So you can also make use of the unified search bar. You could search for this specific CI. So I'm going to type in as prod. So that's going to navigate me directly to the CNDB module and populate the results. So I could click on this CI and view what are my relationships. So I could view my relationships from the list which is available here, or I can also make use of the relationship map, which is available right here as a part of the new user interface. And we do have horizontal, vertical, and force views as well. So you can now have a hierarchical view on what could be the possible impact, or you could navigate to each and every single service, view what are the details about the service which is available. So for instance, let's click on the vertical option or the vertical view option. When you click on the CI, the detail of the CI would populate on the right side of the application. You can also click on the relationship icon which is available here to know what are the possible impacts. So for instance, if this server goes down, all these other services would be impacted, right? So if you want to know what are the connectors or who should you contact on on a quick basis, you can make use of the CMDB section and the relationship map, and that could give you a high level insight on what is what is a critical asset versus what are the possible elements which could be impacted as well. So that's about the unified search bar. So you can literally search for any data available in any module which is available in the application. And when you navigate to setup, this option is also available. So you also have a search option for your setup. For instance, if you want to take a quick look on the sites which you have, you can just type in sites and click on the result, and that's going to directly navigate you to the option which you're looking for. So you also have an option called search in setup. So as and when you are navigating anywhere in the setup, you can also make use of this option to navigate quickly. So as a part of the end user's view or the requester portal view, we have now introduced the requester portal customization. So under setup, you have the requester portal option right here. So when you click on requester portal, that's going to take you to the requester portal customization option right here. So you can either preview or customize your current, you know, current requester view. So this is your preview. So this is how my current requester view looks like. If I want to customize or probably add another, tab right here for my projects, or make a change to the template on the whole, make changes to the widgets which are available, that can now be made possible. And you can also now make changes to the content which is available within these boxes as well. So, and even within the buttons which are available. So I can literally change the phrase I'm facing an issue with a completely customizable wording. And let me show you how that is done. So under requester portal customization, you could click on customize. So that's going to take you to the customization page. You can click on manage widgets. So that's going to give you an insight on what your current widget column looks like, or how many columns it's currently displaying. You could choose your widget column to display from one column all the way up to 4 columns. You can also make use of the list of widgets which are available and the new URL widget to customize your home screen or your requester portal. You can make changes to the template by clicking on this edit icon. So this gives you, so the customization page has 3 views. So you have a code view, you have a preview, and you have a split view as well. So as in when you tweak or make any changes to the code, you can view what are the changes which are being reflected for the end user as in when you type right here as well. You also have a select template option. So when you click on the select template, you initially you had just these 4 options. So we have now introduced 4 more templates which you can make use of, which is the university, health, and your HR options. So depending on your liking, you could choose your own template and you could customize them. So let's go with this template for now, and let's close this page. So for instance, this is how my end user portal looks like, or my request or customization portal looks like. If I want to add a logo and another tab right here, I could navigate probably to the code view or split view, depending on my preference, and I could make a few changes to the code. So right now, let's add a logo and see how it looks like. So on the second line, I'm going to place that. And at the very bottom, I'm going to paste this piece of code. And when you paste that, you have a background image which is being fetched, and this is my logo. So this can be made customizable. And if I want to add another tab which is similar to this, I could navigate right here, populate another tab. So you could copy paste the previous code which was available for your previous tab, and you could make changes to that as well, right? So for instance, I've copied the code for solutions. So if you want to make a change to this, so instead of I'm looking for solutions, if you want to say view my projects, right? So that can now be made possible. So when you scroll down, you could see that the change is being reflected right now. So let's choose view my, and let's say projects right here. And as a part of the click action, instead of view solution, you could change the attribute to view your projects, and you could rename this as projects, and you could say view all my projects. And when you scroll down to the preview, you would now notice that the changes were reflected as a part of the new user interface and as a part of the requester homepage customization as well. So I can make this change available to the end user by saving this change. And you also have an option to make use of the most used service templates, your my summary, and your assets and your announcement section. So these are widgets which I shown you earlier. So you could also make use of canned widgets, and these are the attributes which you could actually modify. So you could view requests, you could view changes, projects, solutions, you could create requests, report incidents, create service requests, and you could have a search bar similar to this as well. So that's about the requester homepage customization and the new user interface. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in or tuning in to today's webinar. If you have any questions, please reach out to our support channel, or you could reach out to me, or you could reach out to hello@servicedeskplus.com, and we'd be happy to assist you. Thank you so much. Stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.